Hi, welcome back. Episode 2, a world record. This is Fangurl Talk. New budget, no problem. I'm Jordan, and I am with.
Donna!
Yeah!
Did I get it right this time?
You did! I'm so proud.
Oh
Okay,
god.
so I know we said we were going to continue the IMDb list, but Donna's got some exciting news. And do you want to tell everybody or no?
What's my news?
Your news about why we might be on hiatus for just a teeny bit.
Oh yeah, I'm moving.
She's moving. So instead of doing the long ass video we were gonna do, we're just gonna do a short one. Might be long, considering the topic. We're gonna do something that's not gonna be list related.
No.
Yeah, today we are going to talk about fan fiction.
Oh my god.
Something I know a little bit about. How about just a little?
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny little bit.
I'm more of a writer than a reader, so.
I am an avid reader. I am.
How many have you read over the years?
Oh, fuck. Okay. So, little backstory. I got into fan fiction like how most people do. I got into it when I was like 11, 12, 13 years old. I didn't read any like romantic stuff. I read mostly like adventure stuff, alternate universe stuff, parody. Like I didn't read any romance stuff. It wasn't until I took a break and then I got back into it that I was like, ooh, couples. Like I didn't give a shit when I was like 11. I was yeah, okay, whatever. I just wanna be about Buffy just kicking ass. I don't care if she falls in love with whoever. Cut to like 5 years later, like I hope she gets with Spike. But yeah, so I read, and I read particularly like the fandoms I'm in. But what about you? Do you write just fan fiction that is in your fandoms, or do you like writing like out? But
Well, over the years, I usually just focus on my favorite thing or the thing that I'm into at the moment because it's hard for me to write about stuff that I don't like as much.
true.
But it kind of just depends, like, on the thing and if I can get ideas from it. Like, I really want to say how I got into it because it's really embarrassing.
Aw,
But,
okay. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to.
well,
No,
basically,
I mean, do it. Do it. No.
okay, I'll just say that I found, no, actually, my mom bought a book, a novel,
Ooh.
a long time ago. Like when I was like in elementary school. It was years old by then.
Okay, we're talking.
It was
old. We're
it was
talking
years old. About a thing, a real group. And I thought this was a normal thing. I was like, okay, do people just write stories about real people? And I was like 9 years old. I had no idea.
Oh my gosh.
But so like for a long time, like for about 10 years or so, I wrote real person fiction mostly. And it was bad. It was
Aw.
really bad. I'm so embarrassed. I'm ashamed of it right now. So,
You're fine.
but
Shame.
yeah,
There's no shame in the Fangirl dojo. There's no shame.
yeah, I do fiction, both just regular fan fiction now, fictional characters, but I would always do like OC stuff. Like I would have OCs in there instead of shipping real people together because that's just weird. I always thought that was weird. So
Okay, yeah. We will get into the ships. We will 100% get into ships. We might even do a separate episode at a separate time regarding ships. But so usually fan fiction, and this is just from me reading, I don't know if it was you writing and posting it on forums, I always found fan fiction to be like certain types. Mm-hmm. So you have you would have the ones that are very fluffy, very G-rated, just oh, it's about hugging and kissing and love and woo. And then you had the smutty smut. It's just nasty. And then you have your OCs. And then I believe you would have these epic ass stories, like 120 chapter stories. That's like just like, oh yeah, the story really picks up around chapter 83. And it's just, yeah, so you always have like the romantic stuff, the adventure stuff, or just OCs, or even AUs where it's like alternate universe. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something.
Crossovers.
Crossovers, yes.
And crackfics.
Alright.
Like the funny ones.
I've not read a crackfic in forever. Yes.
Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. I'm definitely more of a fluff person.
I am not gonna lie. I'm one of those like romantic types that I will just read fluff, and then every now and again I'll read smut, because why not? It's funny. No offense to any writers. If you're writing, more power to you. Just keep writing. Don't ever give up. Don't ever feel like you're not good enough to keep writing. But you can tell sometimes that these writers have never been in a relationship in their life, because it just goes from 0 to 1,000 fast.
I know. Especially, I love. Okay, not to like talk about my fave thing right off the bat, but I just sometimes just read descriptions of fics, like especially like one shots or the really short ones.
Yes.
And there's always like an OC, and they're always like an investigator or something, and Elle was ignoring them. It's like
that. Woo!
It's like
that's just so romantic.
It's literally like every like reader or OC/elfic, and it's just like that's all of them.
I didn't even know that reader was an option until recently, and it still kind of takes me out of the fic. It'll be like, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then all of a sudden the character says your name, /n, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why? What? This was getting so good, and then they just said your name.
And then sometimes I would like forget what I was reading, and I would be like, "Why in? Yes, no. What are you talking about?"
So Dean looked at me and looked at us with green eyes and said, "Your name." Like, thanks, man.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, like sometimes reader fics can be like harmless and kind of cute, but sometimes they're like really weird.
Yeah.
And like they always have the characters, like the canon characters, falling in love with the reader or the OC like really fast.
Really
and it's
fast.
Like,
no explanation, really fast. And then like once it gets to the naughty, like they're just like trying to make it appeal to everybody, but not everybody has the same body. So it's like once you get into that territory, you're like, yeah, okay, this is not the reader anymore. Whatever. I was just here to get some lovey-dovey action from Cass and Dean. I don't know why I all of a sudden did it. No, thank you. Sometimes I'll accidentally forget to like look at the word count, and I'll read the premise and I'll be like, oh yeah, it's really good, and it's too freaking short. It's like 136 words or something, and I'm like, damn it! The description was really good.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll find a story you like, and you're like, oh, okay, this might be a quick read, but then it's like 50 chapters.
Yeah, it's never in between. It's either 136 words or 58 chapters. And it's like, it is 3 in the morning. I really would rather not.
Yeah.
So, is there any pet peeve you have when you're reading fanfics? I know you don't read them a lot, but as a writer, is there anything that you try to like stray from?
Yeah, now I do. I'm a lot more self-aware when it comes to writing stuff. I try to avoid certain tropes, but like some of the ones, like the most recent ones I've written or I've been working on, are kind of based off other stories in a way you're inspired by them. So then I'm like, okay, should I use that? Okay, the couple, they hate each other first and then grow to like each other trope, but I decided not to use that because I hate it.
Yeah.
Even though I watched like a million Asian dramas with that trope. I don't know. So, but yeah, I personally didn't want to do that, so I was like, okay, I'll just skip that and just have them like each other, I guess, at first, kind of. But I don't really like to make OCs like the Mary Sue type characters, you know. I try to avoid that as much as I can.
Oh my God.
Like make them really, really pretty and have all the guys fall in love with her and all the girls hate her because she's so pretty. And I'm like, no, let's not do that.
That's just lazy writing.
Yeah, like when my first couple fics were like that, but I was young, so I didn't know.
It's understandable. Because it's like you're trying to make a blank slate and you're trying to do like what reader fics do is like trying to put the reader in that slot.
Yeah.
But then like the person's boring and you can't relate to them at all because like they might as well be like a lamp or a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
In its place.
Yeah, and like when I first wrote my fic, or the very first one, I didn't really read anybody else's stuff. So I had no idea that those were even tropes that I should stray from, but I didn't know, so.
Yeah, and that's the thing you learn from like over time, just writing. You learn what you don't like and what you can do to stay away from like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but what bugs me the most when it comes to fan fiction is, I don't mean it, but I know it's like a writing thing, but I hate it when they get way too flowery with their details.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're trying to explain, like I'll use my fandom for example. For like Dean Winchester, for those of you who don't know, is the Hunters on Supernatural. He's a musky dude, he's got green eyes, he's kind of tan, kind of blue, whatever. He'll go on like this huge, like, oh, his eyes are as green as the grass on a Sunday afternoon with the leaves and the cherry blossoms. Like, what? Another character on the show, Castiel, who's an angel, he's got blue eyes. So he's always like crystal water that springs from a waterfall. The bluest blue to ever blue. It's like, stop.
Oh my god.
Stop it.
You know, I also kind of hate it. Like, I can like OC fics if they're done okay, you know.
Yeah.
But like one thing, I've made this mistake too, but when authors have to describe exactly the way the OC looks, like every chapter, like what they're wearing, how they look, I don't do that anymore. Like at all.
The blonde-haired, brown-eyed, 5'2", petite, strong-built character named Lula Ray walks in with a slight limp and her pet monkey by her side. Like, why are you telling me this every chapter? I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't even really describe my OCs at all usually anymore, because I'm just like, I don't care what they look like. I'll just have the readers envision what they look like. I'm just that lazy. I don't care.
Lazy or genius.
But yeah, like, you don't need to do that. But okay.
You really don't. If you want to give like a basic description,
Mhm.
fine, but do it at the beginning of the fanfic. You don't have to explain who it is every single time. Like, that would just make you, one, it would make people think that the reader is stupid. I mean, not. Two, it would make it look like you're just trying to pad out your story. And that's both bad. Like,
Yeah.
don't assume the reader's intelligence. And for the love of God, don't pad out your story. If it needs to end, just let it end.
Yeah, like, the only time I will ever describe how, like, my OC in particular looks is, like, if they're dressed up for something and you have to describe, that change of appearance or whatever.
Right.
Like, if it's a special occasion or whatever, kind of describe that. But other than that, I just kind of stay away from it.
Okay. So, we talked about the fan fiction from fandoms. You brought up something that's actually kind of not controversial, but a little something people don't like talking a lot. Real life fan fiction.
Oh god.
It's about people in real life getting together. What is your opinion on that? What is your opinion on that?
I think it's bad. And also,
trying to word it so diplomatically, bad.
And I guess it also depends on the source material. Like, there are some, like, people who write about bands and groups and stuff like that. Okay. As long as the bands don't care,
Yeah.
that's fine. But if they do, and if they've actually said, this makes us uncomfortable, then you should probably not do it.
Right.
So, like, as long as the bands are cool with it, then go ahead, I guess. But I find it weird, especially now that I'm an adult, and it's like, I've never really, like, shipped people in bands before. Like, it's just weird. Sorry, I mean, I don't mean to offend anybody. It's just like, it's not my thing. Nope.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody either, by all means. Like, if it's not hurting anybody and it's not hurting themselves and they're consenting adults, whatever. Just let it. Ugh. Sorry, underage shipping. Just ugh. That's no. But when it comes to me, I know I used to read fanfics about real life celebrities with getting together with like OCs or getting together with like people they normally work with, and it was what it was, and I really don't have anything like, I don't look back on it like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is this? I was a 13, 14-year-old kid just bored out of my mind, so of course I'd read it. It's whatever. I don't want to say disturbed, but I get really uncomfortable if it's somebody who's clearly in a relationship with somebody else and they're being put in that situation. Like, I don't know if there's any Team Snob fanfics out there, but I'm not going to look for it because that's just way too uncomfortable. They're all married. I'm not going to look for it.
Don't send us links either. Don't.
You know what? I would, if somebody dared me, I would read it. I'm not gonna lie.
We should just have an episode of Jordan reading fiction.
Yes!
And reacting to it.
I would too. Look, I know what I just said is totally hypothetical, hypocritical of what I just are about to say, but I'm totally down with reading fanfiction on here. I will read Brad Jones, Dave Gobble fanfic just because it sounds hilarious. Both happily married, both married to fantastic women, Laura and Sarah respectively. such sweethearts. I would read it in a heartbeat. I would so read it. I would do it for everybody, for you guys, for Dada. I would. I so would. It sounds hilarious.
Yes.
Cut to like a week from now. You're being bombarded with a bunch of links. And you're like, God damn it, Jordan.
This is just gonna turn into a show where Jordan reads fanfiction.
Jordan. Instead of Brad tries, it's Jordan reads.
Yes.
I don't even have to do anything. It would just be me recording myself, like, reading it and reacting to it.
And I would just be laughing the whole time.
Ha 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 ha! You said you'd do it.
Okay, I was gonna also say, like, if you choose to write, like, in real life fics, you know, like that, don't send them to the actual people that they're about. And the same with fan art. Like, don't do that.
That's disrespectful.
It is.
Like,
It
if
really is.
they ask, like, I know Misha Collins, who plays Castiel in Supernatural, he'll sometimes ask. Because that's funny to him. Or, you know, actually kind of sweet. But on the other spectrum, Jensen Ackles, who plays Dean, doesn't like that. Like, he actually is really uncomfortable with that stuff. So, if they're cool with it and they're like, they consent, essentially, is what it is. If they consent, whatever. But if they're clearly uncomfortable with it, don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. This PSA.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt with Jordan's. We're gonna make T-shirts with Jordan's picture on it. It just says, "Don't be an asshole."
Don't be an asshole. And the back, I will freely read fanfiction for fun. Send me your fanfics so I can read it on the internet.
If this video gets 100 views, then Jordan's going to read bad fanfiction.
If this view 100, 10. Why not?
I think our last one got 20.
Yes. I get to read 2 fanfics. Send me god-awful Team Snot fanfics. I'll read it. I will do it in front of the camera while Dada laughs at me for regretting my decision. I'll have my cat Steele just judging me the entire time. It's great. I live for it. I do. There are, in a lot of aspects, it's not just, just reading or writing. It's also, talking about the rating system and places to go. I know fanfiction.net is not exactly explicit with their stuff. Usually it's AO3, Archive of Our Own, that is. Is there any sites you've been accustomed to that you've been mainly putting your fanfic stuff on, or?
Usually just fanfiction.net. I only have one on there.
It used to be Tumblr.
I used to post on there, but I don't anymore. So, sometimes I will, but it's usually just private views. I'll let friends preview it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then if the feedback is good, I'll post it on fanfiction.net. But I don't know, these days if I actually update, I will post it first and then just share it.
I mean, not to bust your ego or anything, but I actually love your fanfics. I really do. I love it. And I love your original characters. Akimi, I love them.
Aw.
If I could get the shirt, a shirt that says Team Aura or Team Akimi, I would. And then nobody would get it. And then on the back, ask me to read fanfics.
Yes.
Yes. So you say that you just write fanfics, so you don't really read?
I sometimes do, but I don't know. I think because I was reading a really good fanfic last fall-ish, but then it started to like turn into what I was writing, and mine wasn't public yet, and I was like, they're doing a lot of things similar to me, and I don't want to end up, reading this and people thinking that I'm copying it, so I stopped. I probably should have kept going because it was really good.
I don't know. I thought you were gonna go with like I was reading it was really good, and then it just started sucking. I don't know about you, but I've had that happen.
Oh yeah.
There were like there's one that's like stuck in my head, and it was about oh god, a fandom. I don't give a shit. It was about Buffy being traded for her father for a mob boss, Spike. And those of you who've never seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer are probably really confused. It was really interesting and really articulate and well written. And then you could tell when the reader just stopped caring and just stopped updating a lot. And they just ended it. Even though they said it was completed, it just ended. And it was so frustrating. Like, why? Why would it just end? I needed to know what happened with the mob boss.
Yeah, it sucks when that happens.
Did you ever read, I try to stay away from it. Did you ever read one that you didn't realize had no ending? Like, there's no complete date?
Oh, I hate that. And it's just like...
sucks.
Like, what do I do with this now?
I am too lazy to write my own goddamn ending. I'm going to email this writer, and I'm going to make them write it. I need to know what happens.
Yeah. What? What's your question?
You go.
Oh, I was just saying that I don't read a lot of fics because I don't, like, want to accidentally take ideas from people.
Okay, I get that.
Like, I want to read more, but then I'm just like, no, I want to try to come up with my own stuff as much as I can. So I try not to read other people's stuff. Except my friend Stephanie, her fic. That's like the only one I read. So.
Okay. I do the exact opposite of that. I try to read like every night. And I'll just read different fanfics. Like, very rarely will I ever read, like, a super, super long one. So my question was going to be, like, what is, like, what's your favorite fanfic? What's your least favorite? What's the weirdest one you've ever read? Because we've all got that one.
I've read some interesting ones. It's kind of hard to think of them all right now. But
if you don't want to like call it out, you could be vague. It'd be like, oh, this one character and this other character, and all of a sudden one turned into a orangutan.
Well, I don't. Probably my favorite. I'm gonna just have to say Stephanie's fic is my favorite,
Aww.
And it's not just because she's my friend. It's because it's actually really good.
Aww.
And it's called Who Said Death Was Easy, and it's amazing.
Aww.
It's kind of like a retelling of the series with an OC in there, and it's just really good. So, I really like that one.
Nice.
But, the weirdest one? I don't know. I've come across some weird ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to think. But I think... The one thing that comes to me was when I accidentally discovered what Slash was.
Oh, I forgot to bring in Slash. Yes. Yeah.
I had no idea what that meant, and I was like, okay, what's that? It was. You're gonna probably laugh so hard, but it was a Pirates of the Caribbean fanfiction.
Yes.
What are they writing? What is Will and Jack doing?
What are they doing?
What is Slash? Oh, okay. I think I know what Slash means now.
I don't think anybody knew what Slash meant until they read one and they were like,
Yeah.
oh, And then they had the decision in their life of, do I keep going or do I exit out in horror? Most of us keep going. Like that.
I think I exited out. I was like,
I
no.
want to see where this is going.
I was like, probably, how old was I? I was still a teenager, obviously, so I didn't really, that was not something I wanted to read at that age. I still don't really like that because I'm a prude. But,
You're fine.
yeah, I mean, it was detailed. I was like, what the shit am I reading? So I got out of that. And,
I'm just picturing, like I talked about the flowing details, and I'm just picturing, like, Will, he just fawns over Jack's beard and just like
I was like, okay.
like
Yeah, because
play with the curtain.
I used to really love that series, you know. And I even tried to write a fic once with an OC in it, of course, and I was only like a few pages in, and I was like, I'm done, I can't do this.
Nice.
That was a big fail. Oh, and I also eventually learned what a lemon was, too.
What's a lemon?
That used to be like the code word for very detailed smut.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think I learned that on the same site. It was fanfiction.net.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know what a lemon was. I was like, what is... Okay. It was like, oh. Never mind.
I had two favorite fanfics for the longest time, and I feel bad. I can't remember what they were, but they were both Buffy fanfics. And they were both long-ass fanfics. Like, I want to say 70, 80 chapters. Because it was more about the story. It wasn't necessarily about... I mean, granted, there were graphic things in it, but that wasn't important. Like, you could cut that smut out, and it wouldn't matter. Because it wasn't a huge part of the story. One of them was a retelling of season 5 with a central character in it. It flowed really well. And then another one was Buffy being sent back in time to the 1800s, where she met and fell in love with Spike before he turned into a vampire.
Oh.
Both written really well, and I loved it. One was written in first person, one was written in third person. Both had a lot of details about the time period. And in the season 5 rewrites case, it was quoting the show, so they did their homework. The weirdest one I ever read, it was gonna piss off some people with kinks, but whatever. I had to stop reading it because it was about supernatural, and it was about Cass being an angel, except angels, instead of being like what they were kind of treated more like something that dwelled in the forest. And they kept going into detail about his oil glands.
What?
I hadn't even gotten to the smutty part of the fanfic. They just kept going on and on about his oil glands and how he needed to milk his oil glands and get it done at a certain time, and he had to make sure his nest was properly done. And I was like, I was here to have a good time. I was here to read about Dean falling in love with an angel. I was not here for Cass talking about his freaking oil glands for
Oil glands.
7,000 words. Like, I wasn't here for that. I'm not here for that. Yeah, Steele's not here for that either. Steele don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that, man, do you? No. Steele's not into that.
Oh my god. I don't even know what to say to that. That's
I get it. Like, they're trying, I understand why, because they're trying to make angels more like birds. Birds have oil glands, but they were getting into real detail of it. So much so that I was like, I'm just gonna exit out. It's fine.
That's just confusing to me.
And bye. I'm gone.
Goodbye. Okay.
I tend to and for the worst fanfic I've ever read, Like, apart from that, I didn't finish it, so I can't say it was bad. It's the ones like badly written. The spelling's bad, the writing's bad. So much so that I'll continue reading, but read it in the characters' voices while they're mispronouncing the words. I'll do it too, and it'll be in my head, and it will make me laugh.
Sometimes those kinds of stories can be really funny. My gosh. Like, they can, like, when they have characters say things that they would never actually say in character, sometimes it can be really funny.
The funniest thing is when they try to make a character who's like an all-around, I don't want to say prude, because that's not it. You know what I mean? Like, kind of innocent. They don't really cuss or anything. And then they just have them, like, cussing up a fucking storm. And you're, like, laughing, because it's like, oh, it's cute. It's like a 10-year-old who's trying to say the F word for the first time. It's cute. Cute.
Adorable.
They don't know how to say fuck yet. That's adorable. Because they're kind of saying it with an E. Whatever.
I forget what site it was on. It wasn't AO3 and it wasn't fanfic.net. But it was something else. Probably Wattpad.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. But I found this story. I don't know why I clicked on it. It was probably kind of late, and I was just like, okay, I want to laugh. So I was reading some fics, like really short ones.
Mm-hmm.
And this one had bad grammar, and like the ones that you said. And I think one of the OC's character, I think her name was Kitty. And I sent Kitty like screenshots of the story. And it was just hilarious.
Kitty, you're famous.
And I think it was like Matsuda who was like really encouraging the relationship, and I was like, he ships you and L, Kitty. Look at this.
Hey Kitty, hey Kitty, 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 Kitty. She get with L. Kitty, Kitty, Kitty. Matsuda thinks you should get with L.
He
Kitty.
ships it.
Come on. Kitty.
And I can't remember. I think it was a different story, but it was the same site, and it was another OC, of course. And the funniest thing I've ever read, probably in a story, was I think that, you know, the OC and L started, you know, kissing or whatever, and I think Walter comes in and he just like says something like, "No Furizaki, no making out with the ladies," and I was just like,
no making out with the ladies.
I was just like, Walter probably wouldn't say that, but okay.
My favorite bad line is somebody, like, a guy sat down and a girl was like, "Oh, you got a controller in your pocket, or you're just happy to see me?" And I was like, okay, that's really corny. And then the guy got up and left, and she's like, wait a minute. His Xbox controller was at the table the whole time. You were serious? You seriously thought he had the controller in his pants?
Xbox controller?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fucking huge, like, one, apparently you think this dude is deformed. Like, majorly deformed. Like, a Wii stick. A Wii stick would have made more sense, but
yeah.
Xbox controller.
Or, like, just a TV remote or something.
TV remote. Xbox.
Did I really just say that?
A phone. A phone would work. Or the, like, Amazon Fire Stick. But no. Xbox controller. I've got a controller in your pocket and just happy to see me. It's like, wow, you really thought that was creative. And I applaud you for that, because you thought. You really did, and I applaud you for it.
Well, it's memorable, I guess. You remembered it.
I don't know what fanfic it was from, though. I couldn't tell you.
It's just that, you just remember that part.
I just remember that part. I was like, because how could I not? How could I not? Got a
Oh my god.
controller in your pocket? You happy to see me? Wait a minute! Controller's been on the table this whole time.
Oh my god. Mm.
Oh, you.
What do you think of out of character fics? Do you like those or do you hate them?
It depends. For some reason, very hypocritical of me. Kind of a hypocritical person, as you can see. I tend to like it bad when the character is not written like the character. Even when it specifically says out of character. And it is a flaw that I have, and I apologize. I like my good guys to be good, I like my bad guys to be bad. I don't like the bad guy all of a sudden being good. I think it's lazy, and I think they just want an excuse to get the dude naked in the fic.
God.
Bad.
Okay.
Well, let's be honest.
I'm like you, it kind of depends, but usually I don't like them out of character, like to certain extents. Like if it's really out of character, it's kind of a distraction, you know?
Right.
But if it's in character enough, like I try to keep my, canon characters in character as much as I can. And it can be really hard, especially in certain situations, but sometimes you have to work around it or try to make it a little bit believable. So
yeah, I'm not gonna like shit on a story if it's like
they
write them to be a little more open than they are in canon, or to be in a relationship that they wouldn't necessarily be in. I actually do love those stories where it's like they get people. It doesn't have to be sexual either. It could just they get them in situations that they wouldn't have been in, to see characters who didn't spend a lot of time on the show or movie or whatever together. I actually think that's really cool. But I don't know, for some reason, I read out of character, I'm instantly not interested in reading it. Like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so do we have any final thoughts about fan fiction? Lots to talk about in final thoughts, but
I usually like fan fiction. I just wish I had more time to read it. So
I am willing to read Team Snob fanfic on camera. I'm willing.
You heard that, 5 listeners.
Our 5 listeners, and I swear to God, you show this to Brad, I will cry.
He might find it hilarious.
Like, next time I see him, he'll be like, so, you're willing to read fanfiction of me and Dave on camera? Like, God damn it, internet!
Only if it exists, which I hope to God it doesn't.
I hope to. You know what? It might. A lot of people randomly ship them, and I don't know why. They're both straight, they're both married, but whatever. Guy with glasses with other guy with glasses look cute together, I guess.
You can't wait to talk more about shipping, because don't you love it when people have their reason is just, oh, these 2 characters shared a scene together. They're great together. It's a scene. Ship.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ship. My favorite is when they ship that makes no goddamn sense. Like, I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Probably.
Like, it makes no freaking sense. And we will talk about that at another time. Don't need to talk about it now. We would be here all night. my final thought. I'm willing to read Teen Stop fanfics. For the love of God, don't tell Brad. And also, I love fanfics. I probably will keep reading them because it's just an alternate form of reading. It's electronic, alternative books, whatever.
Yeah, I think like fanfics, they get kind of a bad rep a lot of the time, but like some of them can be really creative, and I personally like it because you can just have more fun with the characters, and just be imaginative, and yeah, just enjoy the fandom a bit more, especially if it's like a limited series or a movie and you don't have a lot of material. So it's just kind of fun to just ask what if and make AUs and all that stuff. So that's why I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I enjoy it too because I love to read, and I don't feel that anybody should give shit to anybody else for reading fanfics, whether it be smut or fluff, or if it's just, taking characters that you love and continuing a different story. I mean, don't feel like you have to reach a certain age and then be like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. You don't reach the age of 18 and then stop being in fandoms and stop reading fanfics. I sure as shit didn't.
Nope.
And neither should you. So don't feel like you have to stop and that it's juvenile or childish to read fanfiction, because it's not. It's juvenile and childish to troll somebody who writes fanfics. That's really fucking stupid. I hate that when people are just completely railing on a kid who's writing they might be writing their first fanfic, and they're like, how dare you, this story is so stupid. It's like, let them grow as a writer. Let them be able to do their own thing. It's like fandoms in general. You can be a fan and you can be passionate and very loving and almost even obsessive about the things you love, but it's when you're negative and being abusive and just berating other people for not really believing the same thing you believe or have the same amount of passion as you do. That's when it gets into bullshit territory. So in all seriousness, that's what I believe. Just do what you love, just don't be an asshole.
Yeah, I actually got a random comment on one of my stories. One of the ones that I regret writing now, but at the time, I really liked writing it for some reason. And it was a comment, and I remember exactly what it said, and it said something like, dude, you're a loser, get a boyfriend. And that was it. And I was just like, oh, okay. And it didn't feel good to get it.
No.
But then it's like, okay, but I didn't stop writing.
No. And I'm glad that it didn't deter you. Well, that dude's a fucking loser for writing on some girl's fanfic.
Yeah, it's like...
not to say that people commenting on fanfics are losers. I'm just saying. Hold on. let me backpedal that. It just sounds like, wow, you're gonna completely just shit on somebody's writing and say they're the loser. You're the one who can just not write on it or not read it. It's totally up to you. I didn't read that oil gland fic and then just keep reading and then go, what is wrong with you? No, I just stopped reading it because I couldn't deal with it. I didn't write dude, you're a loser, writing an 8-page paragraph essay about oil gland. What is wrong with you? Because I would have gotten a response back. What is wrong with you? You knew you didn't like it. Why did you keep reading it? So, do you wanna outro this bitch, or would you like me to do it?
It's up to you. Go ahead.
Okay, well, this has been Fangirl Talk. I'm Jordan.
I'm Donna.
And remember, don't be an asshole.